Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary and we're doing another deck review today. I've been asked several times about crystal decks and which ones I recommend. And at that time I'd only really worked with the Judy Hall deck. And so I bought some decks and just to work with them and see, if there's other ones I recommend. So far, I recommend all the ones I've shown you so far. This one is different. So this is the Crystal Grid deck. It's an 80 card deck to charge your intentions by Grace Duong. Now I could have sworn somewhere that it said it was an oracle deck. But now I'm not seeing that anywhere. But that's okay. So I bought it because it said Crystal Grid on it. It is 80 cards, which I thought was really good for an oracle deck. It's not what I thought, and I'm so okay with that. So let's start with the one thing I really hate about this deck. So it's got this really nice box, but then it's got that stupid tuck box within the nice box. But the good thing is the deck fits in there perfectly fine without the tuck box. So I'm okay with it. I got a dog here everywhere. The tuck box, I'd say if I was moving it around a lot, it might protect it more, but it's not going to move around that much. Now, so anyway, the tuck box is going in storage. I'm not, it's fine. The guidebook, let me unfold it. I don't know if I can get it all in. So it doesn't tell you what the crystals are for each chakra, but honestly I think this would be a really good piece of art. I love this. I can kind of tell what each crystal is, but I think this would be a really good piece of art because it's not really informational unless you know what the crystal is. And then the back kind of tells you how to use the cards, and some layouts. Now, I'm kind of changing. This is not a divination deck, and I tried doing like daily pulls with it and stuff. It doesn't work as a divination deck, but I do have another use for it. So if you are looking for a divination deck, this isn't it. But if you're wanting to experiment more with crystal grids, choosing crystals, putting crystals together, stuff like that, maybe pull a card to see what crystal you should work with. What is some other good? Having a discrete crystal grid, or maybe a crystal grid to take with you. It does have lots of uses, and yeah, here's one thing. Here's one thing that a lot of people disagree with. I believe that in a crystal deck, whether it's a divination deck or even this one, you can use the card as a replacement for a crystal. That's my belief. I know there's a lot of people that don't believe that, but like with crystals, the main thing that makes a crystal work is your intention. Yeah, the properties of the crystal help that, but what makes the crystal actually work is your intention. So for example, when, my monthly crystals that I do, the intention I have with that crystal every month is to get to know it better, to see how we work together, to see what it could do for me, stuff like that. My amethyst that I carry with me, intention for it is to keep me calm. Now, amethyst is a lot of people use it for protection. I don't depend on my amethyst for protection. My amethyst is solely focused on keeping me calm, help anxiety, just be there for support. My black tourmaline, on the other hand, that's its intention is to keep the negativity away from me. So, yes, those crystals have properties specific to them and specific to being, a naturally created piece. I believe that the cards can be used in place of, but I also believe that the card isn't going to be as powerful as the crystal. So like this, what is this? Tanzanite. I believe this card can be used. I don't have any Tanzanite in my collection, so if I wanted to experiment with it, I believe I can pull this card. Now, I also know that there's going to be some difference between working with the card and working with the actual crystal, because I believe the crystal is going to be stronger. So there's that. Now, one cool thing about these cards is the shape. It's set so that they can all be put together. And you can just keep going as big as you want. And I love that. This, if you need to hide a crystal grid somewhere, this works perfect. Okay, like I was saying, the hexagon shape makes it so you can turn it into a grid, and it's really cool. You can do a really discreet crystal grid if you want. You can put it under a mattress, under a pillow, under a piece of furniture, in your pocket, travel with it, stuff like that. So the hexagon shape is really cool. I really like that. And when I bought it, I actually thought they were going to be bigger cards, but the size is perfect. I have little hands, so this really doesn't make a difference. But now the fronts, it's like an artistic, what do you call it? Kind of like a filter put on it, or I don't know what you call it. But it's matte. Let's bring you down. It's matte, and then the image is glossy. So, and then on the back, it has the name of the crystal, a few keywords, a write-up about it, and then down here it's got planetary correspondence and astrological correspondence. And the back is matte too. I really like the matte feeling. The gloss isn't too bad. So now the backs are all different colors. It goes goes with the theme of the front. So tanzanite, that purpley pink. This one will be green. This one will be blue. You get the point. So I really like that. Now I should have got them all the right direction. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do the walkthrough. Zoom out a little bit. We're going to do 2 piles because there's 80 cards here. So I'll flip them over. There we go. That'll work. Now, I know in the last deck I did that the like artistic effect they did to it made it look, it's hard to tell on some of them. Like this one's hard to tell that it's citrine, and this one I have no idea. Oh, cat's eye. I don't know. But I don't know. For some reason with this deck, I'm kind of okay with it. Kyanite, Tanzanite. Now, if the air conditioner kicks on, I'm going to keep going. So if you all of a sudden start hearing music, it's because air conditioner kicked on and we got 80 cards to go through and I'm not going to stop. Green calcite, citrine spirit quartz. Some of them are really like this green one. What is this? Oh, green aventurine. Like, I know green aventurine has some of that speckle to it, but lazulite. Some of these, like this one I know is blue lace agate, and this is morganite. The morganite I have is really light colored, and it doesn't have the pyrite stuff around it. Blue lace agate. Ooh, what is that? Snakeskin agate. Well, that's cool. Garnet. There's some amethyst, Orlite 23, and amethyst phantom quartz. This tree agate. Yep. And lapis lazuli. Yep. So I can see what some of them are. Obsidian. Oh, onyx. And pyrite. Yeah, pyrite doesn't look like pyrite, but that's okay. Blue aragonite and blue topaz. Ooh, tiger's eye. Yep. Golden healer. Now tiger's eye, I just recorded that video right before this one, so you should be seeing this a week after that one. Is that malachite? Yep. Pink fluorite. I don't think I've actually ever seen pink fluorite. Hematite. Ethiopian opal. So, like I was saying, I think if you're wanting to play with like combining crystals in a crystal grid, or just playing with picking out crystals in general, and don't want to go buy a bunch of crystals, this deck is perfect. Like I said, I tried using pulling a daily card for it. It wasn't giving me the messages that I wanted or needed. Who was that? Christ or Charite? Yeah. Turquoise. The turquoise doesn't look like turquoise. But I have played with it, just kind of feeling out. Oh, there's the air conditioner. like I was saying, I used it a lot to kind of pick out crystals and just kind of see how they went together. Now, on the backs, you know, I told you it's got the information. So it's really easy to like go through the deck and look at the keywords and then the description to see what crystal could help you with them that time. I really like this deck. If you are wanting to experiment more with crystal grids, I highly recommend this deck. It when I figured out that it wouldn't work as a divination deck, I was a little bummed out because that's what my focus on for these videos was to recommend crystals in divination. But this deck, it is different. To me, okay, so I've tried, and I'm going to do a video explaining this later. I've tried to do crystal divination. It didn't work. And in that process, that's what led me to charms. But, like I said, video for later. To me, this deck, I had the same problem with this deck as I did when I was using real crystals in divination. So to me, this deck, using it for learning crystal grids, is perfect. It kind of, to me, felt like a study on crystal grids. Like, how do I want to explain this? Like, taking the information from the cards, and even if it wasn't something that I was wanting right then. Oh, here. So say that I'm wanting a crystal grid to help make decisions. So I just go through and find crystals that would help with making decisions. And of course, I'm not going to find any more. Okay, let's see. So we've got decisions, confidence, intuition. Let's say I think those three are going to make a really good crystal grid. I can arrange them and just kind of play with them. So that's my take on the crystal grid deck. If you're looking for a divination deck, this isn't the deck. But if you're looking to explore crystal grids more, learn more about crystal grids, and even learn about crystals more and how they work together and all that, this deck is so good. And I think it'd be perfect for somebody just starting out with all that. So if you've got any questions about this deck, let me know. If you've got any recommendations for decks to try out, if you're curious about, let me know. I'm trying to not spend too much money on these decks. Like this one I got on sale on Amazon, and it was pretty cheap. I think it was only like $8 when I found it. I think it's more right now, but when I found it on sale, I think it was only $8, which is amazing. Because I think on here, on the tag, it says it's $26, but I don't think I've ever seen it that high on Amazon. But anyway, if you're wanting to experiment with crystal grids, I highly recommend this deck. And let me know what you think. And if you've used this deck, let me know. I haven't seen very many. I don't think I've seen anybody using this deck, actually. And there were only a few reviews, so let me know what you think. And I will see you next time.